Trust the Profits back again. Week 14. Let's get it done, baby. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome aboard NFL Weekly Throwdown, Week 14. Got a full slate. My partner in crime the last few weeks, Vinny Blonde, couldn't make it tonight, so I am going solo. But we got it covered. I've got a whole lot for you. Top 3 stories of the week. To me, maybe not to everybody, at least to me, the quarterback carousel we're experiencing right now is crazy, man. We have 6 or 8 new quarterbacks playing for either the first time or getting a second chance or last chance or whatever is happening. That's the first story, is the quarterback carousel. And a lot of them on playoff, teams that are still alive for the playoff fight, which is pretty damn interesting. Second story is the playoff picture. It's starting to become a little bit more clear. Teams are fighting for their lives. Other teams are dying. Other teams are, making new life, surprising new life. And the third story is, you know him, you love him. The Coug Hunter, Zach Wilson. What is going on with the New York Jets? This was supposed to be the feel-good story. I don't know what's happening here. I'm having a little fun with this, but the Coug Hunter, apparently, he was supposed to be in the mentor role below Aaron Rodgers. We all know what happened. Long story. But if you haven't heard this story, this is crazy. He apparently, he's had the backups come in, Boyle, Simeon, and they looked terrible. So now the Jets and Bobby Saleh walking it all the way back to needing the Coug Hunter to come back in and try to play, in which Zachary said that he is not willing to risk. And this is, this is all hearsay. He doesn't want to risk injury to come out and play, which at this point, this is the number 2 overall pick in the draft last year. This is unprecedented. Is he dumb enough to think that this isn't his entire career on the line? I mean, hey, this is as good as it's going to get for Zach. I think this might be the end of the line for Zach, the Coug Hunter. So I wanted to make sure I touched on this a little bit today, because he has been my favorite topic to punch on this year, because it's a ridiculous story. He's a brat. Look at this picture. He looks stupid. I knew he was a bust from the second they drafted him. Bad pick. I rooted for the Jets this year with Rodgers. I thought it was a good story, but we'll move off of that. So good luck, Zach, in your future endeavors with your hot mom and your MILF hunting. But that's about all you're going to be, Bob. Moving along. Let's actually talk about football now. All right, like I said, Vinny's off this week, unfortunately, because he is on a heater, boy. Since joining the show, he's done 4 shows with me. He went 8-2 last week, 37-24 overall. He's hitting at a 60% clip, folks. This is retirement type numbers. It's up 1,060 in just, 61 bets. I, on the other hand, am up minor, a bigger, sample size here. So 52.7%, not all bad, still in the positive, could be doing much better. And this week, folks, I'm risking a lot, because I think I have 13 bets or something like that. It's a 15-game card this week, and I like a lot this week. So we'll talk about it. Last week, I think I only had 5 or 6 bets. This week, I'm going in a lot. So you might come back next week and find out that my numbers are way up or way down. But again, Vinny 8-2. He's not here this week, so I'll get those. I will post in the comments Vinny's best 5 picks if you're following along here, because he's been doing a damn good job. So let's talk about the first game of the week here. We've got the New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and here's the first piece of the quarterback carousel I was talking about. Mitch Trubisky's in for the Steelers, and I don't think it even matters, because Pickett sucks. The Steelers are winning on a lot of smoke and mirrors, turnovers, these type of things, which, by the way, I mean, this is kind of the Steelers. This is their kind of their forte, and it has been forever, back when it was Polamalu causing havoc back there. All the great defensive players we've seen, they're just a team that takes advantage of bad teams, or they take advantage of turnover situations and score with them. And that's exactly what's happening here. I can't believe they're 7-5. This is an automatic win here. With that said, no bets on this game, because I'm just, first of all, who even knows who's playing quarterback? Is it Zappy? Who cares who's playing quarterback for the Patriots? Because I've seen enough back and forth on the Mac Jones and Zappy thing. They're both terrible. This franchise is on fire. I can't even bet the over on a 30-point game. This is terrible. I have this game almost identical to Vegas. I think I have it 17-13. So if, gun to my head, I would bet the Steelers. I'm sorry, I'd bet the Patriots, but there's no chance I'm betting the Patriots. And the over-under is of no interest to me. Forget about it. This is a bad game. I think the Steelers have a backdoor shot at a playoff spot, which is a shame because it's going to, take up a spot that maybe a more, up and coming or fun team could get. But the Steelers will get a wild card here, and they will probably lose by 30 in the wild card round. Good luck, Steelers. All right, first game, and we got some bets here. Let's see I'm actually going to bet this game and the over. I like the over here. The Texans 7-5 going into the Jets. The over-under is set at 34.5, and the Texans are minus 6.5. I'm actually going to take the Jets here, believe it or not. And I honestly, again, I don't care. We're talking the quarterback carousel. I don't care who it is. Is it Simeon? Is it Boyle? Is it the Coug Hunter? I think it's going to be the Coug Hunter, which I honestly, sad to say, I think he's the best of those options. Still terrible. But my point is the Jets have a pretty solid defense, and they're home, and there's a lot of pride on the line. There's a lot of people playing for their careers on that team, believe it or not, including the Coug Hunter and Salah. I just think that that's too big of a number. As a home team, they will cover. They will lose. I do have the Texans winning this like 2017, something 2018, somewhere in that range. But I don't know. Tread lightly. This is a medium confidence game, but I do like the the Jets, and I like the over. So, like I said, the Texans will win. And by the way, what a Cinderella story. The Texans, they'll go to 8-5. And man, this is cool to see. And I'm an Ohio State hater, so it's not like I'm a CJ Stroud fan by nature, but he is exciting to watch, and this is a fun team to root for. And this looks like an automatic win, but again, that's too many points for the home team, the Jets. Give me the Jets. Give me the over. Next, the 1-11 Carolina Panthers going into New Orleans, 5-7, who is, believe it or not, folks, still alive in this playoff hunt because the NFC South is so bad. But they're probably one game away from being out of it. Saints are minus 5.5. The over-under 37.5. And I have this game at about 23-18 Saints. I do like the over a bit here. Let's see. Bryce Young, by the way, is starting to finally show flashes. At least he's having some good plays now. I'm not saying he looks good by any stretch. Definitely doesn't look like CJ Stroud. But he's looking like a little spark of life. And again, folks, his best weapon is a 38-year-old, former Adam Thielen, the ghost of Adam Thielen, if you will. And they don't have much going on there. It is a bad team. This is not all on Bryce Young. I'm not a big defender of a 5'9" quarterback in the NFL, but it's not all his fault, folks. He's showing some flashes. Get him some weapons. I mean, the Panthers should sell out their whole franchise for some weapons for him to see if they're, if they've got something here or not. Because I think they'll know within a year whether they just have to move along here. But I think Young's. I'm not writing Young off yet. Put that in cement, baby. I'm not writing him off yet. Obviously, this year I am, but I don't like the spread here. 5.5. I think that's about right. I'll take the over on a minor. Like I said, I think this game is going to be around 41, something like that. So maybe a little interest. I personally probably just stay away from this game. But you do have famous Jameis. Speaking of that quarterback carousel, so far 3 games, 3 new quarterbacks, or at least 3 up in the air quarterbacks with Trubisky, Simeon, the Coug Hunter, and now Jameis Winston, I think. And again, this is early in the week, so things could change still. So I apologize if we're a little late on some of these here. But let's go to the next one. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cleveland Browns. Jacksonville 8-4 coming off that Monday night loss. And the loss of their franchise, Trevor Lawrence, who, again, this is Tuesday night after Monday Night Football, and this just happened 24 hours ago. It looks like a high ankle sprain for Trevor. Looks like he'll miss some time. Hopefully not a lot of time. Hopefully the Jags can get back, man. This is another young up-and-coming fun team to watch. And I'll tell you, and speaking of the quarterback carousel, here's 2 more possible new quarterbacks with C.J. Beathard and Joey Flacco, who actually came in and started last week. And I got to say, dude, I caught a little bit of that Browns game. Flacco looks good. He looks good. Not great, but he looks good. He looks like he can still play. every bit as good as he ever did. He was never, to me, he was never a miracle worker franchise type guy. He was good enough to win on those exceptional Ravens teams, which is what he did. And this Browns team is another team that they are exceptional on defense. And I think Kareem Hunt still looks pretty good. I like Flacco, man. I think that was a really smart move, pulling Flacco out of the weeds, off the bench, off the shelf, whatever you want to call it. With that said, let's take a look. And I almost hesitate to even talk about this game because of the Trevor Lawrence situation, but I saw the over-under has dropped to 31.5. I know on this graphic it shows 37.5, 31.5 at the time of this recording. Slam the over here, folks, because I got news for you. Flacco and Beathard are backups, but neither one of them are bad. And Jacksonville gives up a lot of points. And I just 31.5 is way too low. Stay tuned on this one because, again, nothing's been confirmed with Lawrence. But in either case, I like the over a lot. If it's 31.5, I don't care who, as long as it's Beathard and Flacco, or if Trevor can somehow go, which I doubt, take the over and run with it. As far as the betting line goes, I think Jacksonville covers here anyway. 1.5. I have this at Jacksonville winning by like 1 or 2. So I wouldn't recommend betting the spread here at all, especially just wait and see what's going on with these quarterbacks. But the over looks good to me, no matter what. At 31.5, it's way too low. Let's move. The 7-5 Colts at the Cincinnati Bengals, who are now 6-6 after that shocking, in a lot of realms, shocking defeat of the Jaguars. The Jaguars were playing a lot of games way too close, even with Trevor. So I don't know. This Bengals team is another team. It's kind of like the Jaguars. I don't think, they're solid. They're a solid team. So does going to a backup quarterback killing completely? I mean, with Burrow being your guy, yes, it's a big step down. Are they a Super Bowl contender right now with Browning? No, they're not. But can they still win a lot of games and play close? Yes, they can. Give me Cincinnati. The spread is, I have it at 1.5. Here, the Colts minus 2.5. Definitely give me Cincinnati on that. I think the Bengals win here by about 2 or 3. So, and I believe in the Colts a little bit too. I think the Colts are good. Good story. Minshew, these guys are. It's like Minshew's addicted to playing close games, like Stroud and a couple of the other guys. Every game is dramatic. I think this game is going to come down to a field goal, probably going to be won by the Bengals. And by the way, Jake Browning's pretty good. I mean, he's not Joe Burrow. Nobody's saying that, but he's pretty good. I think he's serviceable. And if the Bengals can play defense and run the ball like they did last night against Jacksonville, hey, I mean, they could win. They could win this game because I think Indy's one of those mid-tier teams that shows flashes. But the Bengals, even without Burrow, are just as good as Indy right now. So, again, give me the Bengals and hammer the over, by the way. I didn't even mention that. That's a green light play. Hammer the over here. I have this at about 46 points. Vegas has it at 40. Hammer it. I think it's going to be 24-22, 24-23, something like that in favor of the Bengals. But the over-under is going to hit this. Hit the over. Hit the over hard. That's a green light special, baby. That's the first green light of only 2 this week. So pop that one. Let's move. My Detroit Lions, 9-3, going into Chicago, 4-8. Lions minus 4. The totals are 41. Now, my handicapping tool has been anti-Lions versus my actual opinion all year, and I don't bet with heart. In fact, I don't bet the Lions at all because of that reason, but I put the numbers up as I believe they will be, not as I hope they will be as a Lions fan. I sincerely had the Lions winning but not covering against the Saints last week. They covered. The prior 2 weeks, though, I had the Lions not covering against, I think it was, the Bears just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then at Green Bay, I was against the Lions. And here, I like the Lions. But I'm not betting this point spread. It's too accurate. And as you know, a divisional game here, and it means the world to the Lions. And I think it means the world to a few people on the Bears, including Eberflus and Justin Fields. But This game is going to come down to a field goal, I feel like. And the Lions defense sucks right now, especially the defensive line. They just lost their second best defensive lineman in Aleem McNeil. Aiden Hutchinson can't do it by himself, and I'm getting tired of the, making excuses for him too. So I just don't bet the spread. Bet the over. The over is going to hit. I have it at 40.5. This graphic shows 41. I have this game at like 46, 47. The Lions will win. I don't know if they'll cover, but I have this at like 24-23, 24-21, somewhere in there. And the Lions will win. I wouldn't touch the spread. I would hit the over hard. That's a green light bet on the over for this game too. And the Lions can't stop anybody either. So Justin Fields will have a field day. By the way, these two teams combined for 57 points just 3 weeks ago. It was 31-28 or something crazy. 31-26, somewhere in that territory. This game's going over 50. And for the reason that the Lions and the Bears can't stop each other. And guess what, folks? The only thing stopping the over here would be significant weather in Chicago, which who knows. But I would bet the over anyway. This is a instant slam. Maybe my best bet of the week is the over here. Moving along, 6-6, LA Rams at the Baltimore Ravens, 9-3, who I think is the cream of the AFC right now. It's pretty undeniable, even at 9-3 here. I have this game as a Rams cover at 7.5. This graphic shows 7, so that's a big half a point. Tread lightly. This is a medium confidence game. Baltimore wins, but the Rams cover here. Stafford and the boys, I mean, they're playing pretty competitive, folks. They're 6-6, and there was a couple of those games that they should have won but didn't as well. So I think they're a little bit better than their record. They're going to go into Baltimore and lose. I have the over-under almost identical to Vegas, so we can't touch that. But I do think the Rams cover here. It's 7.5, I think they cover. 7, we start getting a little sketchy. Depending on where you get this line at, I think if it goes over minus 7.5, take the Rams. If it's 7 or less, I just wouldn't touch it. I really like this game. I think it's huge for the Rams. The Rams are in contention for the NFC wildcard, and the Ravens are obviously looking for that number 1 seed, battling it out with KC and Jacksonville and whoever else. The AFC seems like it's wide open, and Baltimore's the best team. They should come out of here 10-3, but take the Rams to cover. Next, the battle for the NFC South. 5-7 Tampa Bay going into Atlanta, who are 6-6. Both of these teams are pretty bad, folks. Let's be honest. But somebody's got to win this division. The only bet here, and it's 39 over under in the graphic here. I have it at 39.5. I have this game at 36. Tread lightly, but if you're going to bet this game, which I don't recommend doing, take the under. Both of these teams can't score. They both have pretty good defenses, and they both really lean on the running game a lot. Well, Atlanta especially. They run it a lot. This clock's going to go fast. I just like the under here, if anything. Probably won't bet this game at all, but I will make it an official bet on the under. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. There's no bet for I guess I would lean Tampa if I had to with the 2.5, but do not touch this. Dangerous game. Two teams playing for their, believe it or not, 6-6, 5-7, playing for their playoff lives. Good luck to that NFC South division. Minnesota Vikings with Josh Dobbs were the darlings of the NFL a couple weeks ago, and then they lose one game, and now everybody seems to be saying that Dobbs sucks again, whatever else. Going into Vegas, 5-7 Raiders. And who would have thunk it again, folks, with the carousel? I know it's been not new this week, but the Dobbs versus Aiden O'Connell was not something we had in the bingo card earlier this year. But that's what we have. And we have Tony Pierce as the coach now. We got a lot of things going on. The Vikings still very much alive in the NFC wildcard picture, but they got the Packers and the Lions in the same division. This could be a tough road for them, but they have to have this win here in Vegas. And I'm just going to say no bets on either the spread or the totals here, because I had this game at 20-18 Minnesota. I think Minnesota comes in here and gets the win. but 20-18. So it's I'm within one of the spread, within one of the totals. I don't like this game at all, and I don't recommend betting it at all. I'm actually rooting for the Raiders to beat the Vikings to kind of take them out of the picture since I'm a Lions guy, but hey. Here we go. Seattle Seahawks, another NFC wildcard contender, going into what is by far the best team in the NFL, and I've been saying it for weeks. Even during their losing streak, I still had them number one in my power rankings. I was listening to Philly Fan and all these guys talk shit. I still believe they're the best in the league, and I think everybody has to at this point because of that ass beating they laid on the Eagles. And the Eagles have kind of proved to be really good, but just not the best like the Niners are. And here's the thing about this game too: no bets. And this is a huge point spread in the NFL. One of my golden rules is to not bet a double-digit point spread ever, especially with Seattle, who's a fairly respectable team. They're not I hesitate to say they're not even good. They're just okay. At one point this year, I would have said they were good. They were in my top 10 power rankings for a lot of the year, but I don't know. They're just okay. They did beat my Lions. That's probably why I'm a little bit skewed on that, but they have not played well. Geno was beat up a little bit. And the Niners, man, I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not going to lose another game for the rest of the year unless they have some kind of significant injury or injuries or something like that, which, man, they are just a cut above the rest right now, and it's embarrassing. It's not even close, folks, honestly. So with that said, though, 10.5 is a lot of points, 46.5. I have this game at like 31-17. So, I mean, if I was going to bet, it would be with the Niners to cover, but it's too close. And 10.5, so many points, folks. In the NFL, that is a huge deficit, but they could win by 30. So where am I at? But as far as the over-under goes, yeah, I have it right around the same as Vegas. So no bets on this one, as much as you want to hammer those. You see the Niners dominating like they are. But let's go into old, weird Russell territory. The Denver Broncos, who are looking really, I don't know, they're coming off a loss, but they're looking pretty damn for real. Is that a thing? And going into the Chargers, who I don't think anybody saw them at 5-7 except maybe me. I hate the Chargers. I hate Justin Herbert. I hate Brandon Staley. I hate this team completely. And I think they suck and they're wildly overrated. But they are at home. They're -2.5. And old weird Russell, although I think he's having his best year in years, several years since he's played as well as he has now. And Denver looking pretty damn respectable here. This is a no bet again. Gun to my head, I have this game at like 23-20 Chargers, which is exactly the over-under that Vegas has, and it's within 0.5 point on the spread. It's just a no bet. I don't know. I guess Denver's kind of a good story. I guess I would prefer them to win because I think the Chargers are, although they're still in the graphic, they are pretty much done here, and I don't think they deserve a playoff spot even if they do win. But my Lions have to go play Denver at some point here in the next couple weeks. So it's gonna be a little tougher game than we thought of a few weeks ago when the Broncos looked like they were dead to life. So let's move. Buffalo Bills 6-6, folks. Going into KC. Everybody's love child. Patrick Mahomes, the Travis Kelce, the Taylor Swift, the Andy Reid show. Everybody's favorite team, the Chiefs, hosting the Bills. They're not my favorite team, folks. I respect the hell out of what the Chiefs have become, which is the best franchise in the NFL for the last, 5 years or so, without question. Class act. I think Mahomes is a class act in spite of his loser brother, his loser wife, and this whole circus going on with Taylor Swift and the whole thing. He's done nothing but been MVP caliber his whole career and a class act as a player and as a person. Mad respect for Mahomes, by the way. And on the other side of the fence here, Josh Allen, who is all-world talent, I think is just as talented as Mahomes. He has gotten to this point now in his career where he just is known for being a gag artist, all the talent in the world, but can't get it done, kind of like the Bills in general. But here, folks, we have the Chiefs -2.5, and their offense is sputtering. And the over-under is 47. Interesting here. I'm not betting the spreads. First of all, I think Buffalo plays this game really close, but choke and lose in the end, probably by 2 or 3, just like Vegas has the spread here. So don't touch that. However, I like the under here. I think KC's offense is not what they're not who we thought they were. They're scoring a lot less. Their defense is solid. I think this is going to be a grinder game. It's going to be more like 23-20, 23-17, 20-17, somewhere in there. I just don't see it getting over 47, and I actually have it at 47.5. So take the under here, folks. I think that is a safe bet. I just don't see this one scoring a ton. I think both teams are going to take care of the ball. Buffalo's playing for their playoff life. KC is obviously comfortably along for the ride here, but they need to get home field too, or else they're going to look a little bit sketchy going into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So take the under. I wouldn't bet this spread. I think the spread is dead nuts on from Vegas. Moving along here, we go to Sunday night football and everybody's favorite NFC team, the Eagles, 10-2. Been pretty damn dominant this year in the win category, but they haven't dominated anybody. And they were exposed last week against the 49ers in Philly and got destroyed. Going into another team who has kind of been fraudulently 9-3 because they haven't played anybody either. And now you take two of the best teams in the NFC, and I think they're two of the best top 5 teams in the NFL. And you put them into Dallas. This is a good, very interesting matchup. And a lot on the line, folks. Number 1 seeding in the NFC, wide open between San Francisco, Dallas, Philly, and I guess you could throw the Lions in there at 9-3 also. But, Dallas minus 3.5, and the over/under is 53. So what do my numbers tell me this week? My numbers have this at 31-24. Dallas. I got Dallas by a touchdown. I'm taking Dallas, baby. Give me the Cowboys, and if you've listened to this show or listened to me rant ever, I hate the Cowboys. I hate them. I hate Dak. I don't believe in them. But this is a damn good team, and they're clicking. And CeeDee Lamb's all world, and they're playing good on both sides of the ball, top 5 in offense and defense. Philly is a good offense, terrible defense. They're winning a lot of close games. That's why they're 10-2. I think Dallas continues the expose of Philly here, and Dallas wins this one by at least a touchdown. Over under, like I said, 53. That's about right. I wouldn't bet that, but I will take the Cowboys to cover, and I never would have said that a few weeks ago. But the Dallas Cowboys will cover this 3.5-point spread. Take it to the bank, folks. I love the Cowboys in this game. I just think Philly is, they beat a lot of bad teams going, at the beginning of the game or beginning of the season. They won a lot of games by a field goal or less, or, by some weird circumstance or whatever else. Are they a good team? Yes. Are they a great team? Yes. Are they the best team in the NFL? No. And I think Dallas is every bit as good as them, and the home field advantage is going to give Dallas this win against all my hopes and dreams, because I hate the Cowboys. But yes, take the Cowboys here. Tennessee Titans 4-8 going into the Fish Bowl. The Miami Dolphins 9-3, folks. 9-3 and even better at home. But look at this spread, 13.5 points. Over-under is 47. What do my numbers have here? And by the way, I don't know what's going on. Is there 2 Monday night games at the same time? I think this graphic is wrong here. I have, but we'll clarify it. In any case, there's two games shown on Monday night at 8:15. So anyway, Tennessee, Miami, 13.5. Medium confidence at best. Give me the Titans. And that is just because 13.5 is an absurd amount of points in the NFL. And again, just like I said on the other game with the absurd points line, the Niners, just on principle, man, I mean, there's too many points. Could Miami blow them out 70-20? Maybe, but I think Tennessee's a little bit better than that. I don't know. I just, gun to my head, give me the Titans, medium confidence, don't hit it hard. And I don't think Tennessee, although I do like Levis, I don't think Tennessee's a threat to score a lot here either. So I don't like the over either much. But let's see, it's 47, and I have this game at Yeah, I have it at like 46. So I don't know. Give me the Titans on a medium confidence bet. Over under is not bettable. Although, like I said, Miami could go. I mean, Tyreek Hill, by the way, he might go down in history this year. He's on pace for the biggest season ever. And as a Lions fan, Calvin Johnson has that record. And Tyreek Hill is just incredible right now. And, more power to him. And the Dolphins are a fun team to watch. And they're at home. And they're really special at home. So watch that one close. Let's move on to the last game here. And one of the bigger stories in the league to me, man, Green Bay, 6-6. In the graphic. Very much in the graphic, by the way. If you look at their schedule, I challenge you now. Go into the NFL.com, ESPN, wherever you get your NFL information, and look at Green Bay's remaining schedule. It is about as bad as it gets. Basically saying they could easily finish the year with 5 wins in a row. I mean, this Giants game is won. This should be an automatic win, right? With Danny DeVito at quarterback. Tommy DeVito, I know, but it's still fun to call him Danny. But I mean, this might be their toughest game because at least it's a road game. Their remaining games are brutally easy. As a Lions fan, I'm sweating them a little bit. They could end up 11-6 here, folks. And, I still think my Lions are going to win this division. But in this game, by the way, I don't like the spread. The spread's 6.5. Packers 6.5. Packers minus 6.5 in New York. I don't know. There's still a little bit of, Dayball's got some self-respect, and Danny DeVito is playing for his life. I don't know. The Giants aren't that terrible. They're pretty bad, but 6.5 at home against the Packers, who, Jordan Love is really coming out. He's coming out as showing the world that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's pretty damn good. He's looked good. He beat the Lions basically by himself. He's been solid the last 3 or 4 weeks. I fully expect Green Bay wins this game. I have it more like 23-17 though. And that's not enough to cover this spread. Not enough to get, aggressive on the over-under. I do, however, recommend betting the over, medium confidence. If you want to make some action here, the over is the bet because I think the Packers could go for 30, depending on Jordan Love. But I do know that Watson's out, or at least doubtful, whatever the situation is there. But that's it, folks. That's it for the whole week. I'm personally rooting for the Giants to get this one done here too. A lot of games. This is the last of the bye weeks as far as I know. And we will get back to Vinnie Blonde next week. So thank you all for watching. This show has, I started this show week, I want to say 5 or 6 this year. First couple got like 100 views. And lately they've been getting 500, 5,000 views, some of them, which is really cool to see. So thanks everybody for the support. Put it in the comments. You hate me, you love me, you agree with me, you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm smart, you think I'm an asshole, whatever you want. Put it in the comments. It helps the algorithm. Please subscribe. That really helps the channel. Tell a friend. Come on the show. Shoot me a DM on Twitter, whatever. Drop in. Come give me your opinions, and we'll talk later. Peace on earth.